Actually, can you
He
bring
said
the bong in?
he was working on getting
Yeah,
hydrogen engine patent.
that's what I show in my movie. Is
Well, his name's Myers.
There's a guy named Steve Meyer who just like that dude who got shot. He created a doom buggy that would go from California to Los Angeles to New York on 22 gallons of water.
That's amazing.
And then his brother, like, he went and sold the technology to
And the bong.
to the Pentagon. They had a meeting.
And
his bro comes out on the record and he's like, yo, right when he had the meeting with the Pentagon, he came out screaming, they poisoned me. Wow. They poisoned me. And he fucking dies the day after.
Cool. Thanks.
Insane though.
Right.
Like, so this is what they do. They've had technologies that are far suppressing our expectations, that we would think it's sci-fi. The Hindu scriptures and the Mahabharata and a bunch of the other ones, they point out stories of cloning back then, like thousands of years ago. Makes you wonder, how normal was it? When you learn the science, you go, oh, it's like repotting a succulent.
Right.
Oftentimes it's like the science of it. If you can get the specifics down, it's very simple.
Sunday is a great day, and I think you should have DJ Havok in the mix.
That's right. I think we should. We definitely need to.
Awesome.
And with no further ado, then, if you would, since we're just rolling into this, you go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about what you got cracking and what to look for.
Man, I'm coming repping the LBC.
Yeah,
that's
Find
right.
Me at DJ Havok LB. And man, I'm just DJing. I'm just a DJ, as how some people like to call me when I'm coming around and being around in certain industries or around certain people or in these sessions. I'm just the DJ, right?
Yeah.
If the black market event gets rated, I'm just the DJ.
That's
I don't know what y'all talking about, but I'm there and I'm observing life, through my DJ skills. Those are able to take me places that I've never would have otherwise experienced, or people that I may have never met otherwise. So just music and DJing, that journey has been very special to me, and that's what's been taking care of me.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So I want to mention this. My grandmother gave me my DJ system when I was 14 years old.
Grandma gave you it at 14.
14 years old, just dropped off a DJ system.
You wanted this thing, or did she surprise you?
She asked me, she knew that I would go to sleep with a boombox.
What?
So she asked me, you want this Nintendo or you want this radio? I said I wanted the radio. It wasn't even a DJ system. I had a DJ in my head. I didn't have DJ system in my vocabulary or in my head at that time. Wow. She just dropped this off one day. It was not a birthday. It was not Christmas.
What?
She just dropped it off at my mom's apartment.
You ever asked her post, like, why she do that?
No.
Wow.
Never did. But that's what been essentially grandma's been taking care of me.
That's tight.
You know what I'm saying? Like with that gift that she gave me, it's like, I don't even think, maybe she didn't know. I feel like she just created a way for me to take care of myself.
That's the best gift that you can get. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like being sustained and all that's the best gift that we can get. And that's why, we're discussing homeschool. The stuff that they're not teaching us in the schools anymore is how to survive on our own. They want us to be dependent. So that's the beautiful thing that your grandma gave you, because you're a survivalist now. And that's right. She threw that down the line. It's like, here you go. This is a heirloom right here.
Definitely a good
here's the jewels. Here's the jewels, the real jewels,
Exactly. So what kind of peaks and valleys have you seen with your roller coaster ride that music has taken you
on? For example, like, growing up watching or growing up to certain music, like one of the first documentaries of hip hop that I watched was by Russell Simmons called The Show.
Cool.
And it featured, the early careers of like Biggie Smalls and Method Man and, like Snoop and Mobb Deep and a long list of other artists that were on this compilation. So it was a tour of all these dope artists. So a few of the artists that are on there, later down the line, I get to like either hang out with or make music with, smoke with, go on tour with.
Yeah.
That were on some of these, you know, on that particular compilation. So for me, that was special, you know, just meeting up with different cats like B-Real, whoever that you get to work with or smoke with eventually, you know, just later down the line. And these are people that you've been, you know, spinning their records since I was a kid. Like all the artists putting out music and making, like I'm able to make a profit and sustain my life through their good music as well. And then I use my own talents of being able to, you know, manipulate these records in my own style to, you know, just to progress my skill and how I stand out in the world. Right.
That's tight.
But I'm kind of derailing from your question, man. You know, just hitting the stage, like when I've DJ'd at, let me say LA Times, I'm sorry, High Times, that High Times stage. And the LA Times I could talk about later because, you know, LA Times and LA Weekly documented a piece of my life as well.
Nice.
With the court stuff.
Oh, I can't wait to get into that.
But you know, being on big stages like that. So High Times, the homies, I think it was LA Kush at that time, put together an event where they, you know, I met up with some cats from LA Kush. We went and had a meeting on the rooftop of their shop. And, you know, they was asking how they can get Snoop to that they wanted Snoop to perform at their event. And I don't know why they thought I had a connection with that. Cause I know people that are like, you know, when you're like one person away from a person, but that don't mean you know the person, you know?
Exactly.
So people come at me like I can make it happen and offer the money and everything. So eventually it happened though. Yeah. However they put it together, they had Snoop perform at LA at the High Times.
Really?
DJing. And I think it was the East Siders and DJ Quick and but you know, some heavy hitters on that stage. And I was like, I went up and DJ'd right after Snoop's set, along with like Smoke DeVille and a couple other cats that I was producing for at that time, and we hit the stage. So that was kind of like a big moment, you know, just to hit the stage with a legend. And then as I'm leaving the stage, and walking off the stairs, and Trey D from the East Siders is coming up the stairs as I'm leaving the stage, and he's like, "I see you, Havok." So you can hear that from so many people telling you that they see you or they see you working, you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes we just hear so much, it's like, okay, cool, you know, and you do have to appreciate everybody comment.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you look up to certain artists or you feel like they're at a bigger platform and they say a comment like that, it does mean a little more to you.
Oh,
you know, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, because you're doing it.
And you know, in Kush Stock and all those things that I've got to DJ at, for a lot of people, those feel like big platforms, you know, just getting on stage and being able to rock the crowd and not just being the guy that rushed the stage and just made myself get on the DJ system. Like I was either booked or invited there, and you know, and I just throwing myself in the mix, even though at first that's how we had to do it. You kind of throw yourself in the mix.
I was gonna say, I spent a little bit of time in like in the movie industry, and I didn't ever really. I always seen it from the outside, thought it was amazing, but I wanted to be in the stunts. But I ended up pushing myself into it and getting me a little gig and working through it. You know, like from time to time, they would do, what do you call it? They would have like different movies. You know, when you drive around town, you see them yellow signs up around, you know, on the post and stuff. They kind of let you know where the movies are and stuff. So we would run up sometimes after, you know, we've been working on set and kind of knew how things worked, and just I forget what they called it, but you could go there, and if somebody was sick or something, you know, we'd be first to try to take their place, you know.
There you go.
But that's because, you know, I didn't get to really run around. I didn't know anybody, you know, so I did that. And that's why they say out here in California, you know, your network is your net worth.
There you go. Exactly.
And that's the truth, man. Unfortunately, but that's the way it is. I think in all sectors, really, you know, you got to be able to move around and get around.
That's how you can see a lot of ridiculous Hollywood stars that you're thinking, well, they ain't got much talent. Like Channing Tatum. I'm gonna call him out. You know, like, I mean, I don't think he's got much talent. You know, I think anyone can stand in and be funny if, you know, the world's forced to laugh. And then when you go down the rabbit holes of Pervywood and you find out that Channing Tatum some dark stuff behind his whole
Right.
thing too. Like sometimes a lot of these celebrities that they make us worship by just putting out their faces and giving them the
Pushing
sexiest
them.
man title. Honestly, sometimes they're not the sexiest man, but the world can be take that kind of perception by the powers that be and how much they force it. And for example, I recently found out that Brad Pitt was like a Hollywood exec bicycle that they all got to turn with.
I've heard stuff like that.
And then you think about, well, they make Brad Pitt appear to be the world's sexiest man.
Right.
Then at the same time, what does it cost?
Mainstream.
Man, what are you willing to do for that fame and glory, right? And you know,
Right.
and I do believe that. And Tupac, man, he tried to expose it, and he's telling you that certain artists, had to do certain acts or perform certain sexual acts just to even make it. And he said he wasn't going with that, and next thing you know, he's coming up missing. So that's all I'm going to say. Right. I'm not even going to speak too much on that because there's so many people around us that are directly connected to some of this stuff. But
exactly,
that's on you.
You even heard it was, I think, what is it, Lazy Bone or one of them, that they came out after years later and said that they had that interview where they said that they were at a meeting and they didn't disclose who it was at, but they said it rode deeply on their minds forever. They finally, brought it up that they wanted them to use the rap as a weapon to prisonize the states.
That's what Tavistock Institute's all about. They're the ones who manufacture a lot of what our culture is thinking.
Yeah.
That's why you hear a lot of rap or trap or whatever kind of music that you go, how is this what has made it to the top? They choose. There's things they choose and there's things that make it.
Yeah. There's so many people trying to make it as a rap artist, but they're not in those circles that are really gonna be able to elevate your career. Yeah. You can make it so far as an independent artist, and the guys that did break through in a major way, they probably were assassinated as well.
Yo, straight up.
But there's especially the artists that talk about creating their own platforms for music and abandoning Spotify or abandoning Apple Music and all this stuff. There, there's certain powers that are not going to let that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a doggy dog world for real.
So that's what's going on. And the guys that do make it get all these people's hopes up, thinking that you can do the same. But no, you're not in that group of people unless you're just someone up there finds you attractive and wants to have sex with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I feel a lot of artists have made it in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I was watching that not a documentary, but if you go check out that David Letterman thing on Netflix and they're interviewing Will Smith, you'll pick up a lot of those pieces of who got him, who invited him to that mansion party where the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air concept came from. It actually, they already had a concept from the real guy that came from Watts to Bel-Air and made it big.
Mm-hmm.
And so and I forget his name. I can look it up for you right now, but I don't need to mention the name, but big record producer that produced Michael Jackson, that made Michael Jackson be who he is through that Thriller video.
Richard Price, is that his name? No.
Who produced the Thriller? It's on the top of my, I should know this.
I know, me too. It's embarrassing.
So that guy is the guy that put Will Smith on. And then the picture that they have him and Will Smith, and you can tell the dude's probably
which one is it? John Landis? You thinking John Landis? Quincy Jones.
Quincy Jones.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Quincy.
Same guy that his daughter was with Tupac in Vegas the night Tupac got murdered. He's the one that said Quincy Jones was raping, going up inside Dre.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm just regurgitating stories that I've heard.
Say that.
I don't know that.
I
don't know if
Quincy
that happened.
Jones was up inside of Dre.
I'm saying I don't know if that happened. That's just
what they said.
Something
that's a story on the street.
Just a story on, not even on the street. I'm just saying like story that certain people will tell you on YouTube and stuff. That's just what I've heard. Whether it's true or not, I don't know.
That Quincy Jones.
But the fact that certain people behind this powerful person can easily come up missing if you talk bad about them.
Let's talk about the Clintons in that scenario.
Yeah, the Clinton body count, man. They've got, most people, they think, oh, you're such a right extremist if you talk smack about the Clintons. But you know what? Like, if you just go down a little bit of a memory lane, you go down to, I think it's Arkansas with Bill Clinton, you can see the beginning. They made a Clinton kill count documentary late 90s because they were already at it. They were murdering people who got in their way. And that show, House of Cards, is very much resembling them.
Right.
Kevin Spacey in that is supposed to be Bill Clinton. When you come down to it, that's where the accent comes from and everything. And yeah, the Clinton kill list, man, it goes all the way down to, you know, Seth Rich, who helped discover all the election rigging that was going on the
Clinton
DNC.
Mafia.
Yeah, that's, I mean, the real one. Yeah, you know, the government's just a sham. It's a shell. I mean, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Look at what happened with Kanye when he came out and did that thing on stage. He had that outburst and he said, "Google lied to you, Facebook lied to you, Hillary Clinton. It's a new world now, Hillary Clinton."
He said that.
Yeah. Then he said some shit like Obama wasn't a true president. He couldn't be his true self. And then he like started screaming and sounding very off the handle. And then the next day or so, the whole Trump thing happened where he comes out with Trump and his hair's bleached now. And they're trying to take a picture and he's just awkwardly silent. It makes you wonder, like, what happened to Kanye in that moment? Did they take him in and like try and recreate his mind, MK
Swap him with the clone?
Or that's exactly it. The theory in the movie I just released is, did they swap him with a clone and did they bleach his hair to make you think that, oh, the only thing different is that his hair is different, not his whole entire body?
Soaked up too much bleach, huh?
If these people are being swapped out, where does the real person go? Do they kill him or are they sending him to live in space?
They kill him.
Well, there is what's called the Rommel death, though, too. You know? And that's whenever they participate in their stage act, then they have the opportunity to leave the world either by like some sort of tragedy, you know, like for instance,
it could be an accident.
Bryant fell out of the helicopter, you know,
or they can preserve their identity by like, going out in their way.
Yeah. Or they can go to trial because they've obviously been caught and held accountable for their convictions, you know?
Right.
So obviously none of them are going to do that unless they get like some sort of, last minute, spiritual awakening finally.
I feel like a lot of these artists that are faking their death and have been faking their death are already living in those places that we don't think exist.
That we're not allowed to go.
That space station that holds up to a whole, neighborhood or population in it.
Beyond that,
you know what I mean? And they try to make you believe that they're just crawling through these little AC vents in there. It's not that small.
But those space videos, they have bungee cords on, and then they've been caught with their green screen leaking the bungee that they're on. That makes it look like they're.
I pay so much close attention to those videos, and I analyze them. And
have you seen the ones where they try to go up towards all the old NASA moon landers with the Bible and ask them?
They wouldn't put their hand on.
They run, they fight, they swear. They seem
so ashamed of themselves.
Like why can't during
the interviews
and especially if they're not even religious, even
if I just do it, man. If I just came back from the moon,
put your hand on there, man. What's the problem?
If I just got back from the moon and you're interviewing me about it, man, I'm gonna be so stoked about it. I'm gonna be like, wow, look at this shit I saw over there, and these guys were like,
they were depressed as shit.
They're like, fuck, bro, I got a lot.
We just lied to the world.
Yeah, bro. We just they're like, I'm going to hell for sure.
Yeah, we're contributing to crimes against humanity, at that point. Because, and that's what's the problem is we kind of grown accustomed to just listening to what people say, you know?
We lost all the technology to go back to the moon.
But here's the thing,
exactly. Oh, okay, that's cool.
There is a land outside of Antarctica that they don't want us to go out and find because think about it. Planes are fairly new. Cameras are fairly new. When we started to get the ability to take these planes,
except for the camera that went to space,
remember? But this is beyond that. This is the Antarctica Treaty was like a bunch of countries saying, yes, we agree, we will all not allow anyone to go beyond this point. Why? And then there's Admiral Byrd in the 50s. You can look up his transcripts and see exactly what he radioed until the point where he had to start like just doing it from memory.
Right.
And the part all the way up to radio says that he was flying up north and up to the point where he saw the most beautiful rivers and valleys that he's like, I thought it would just be ice up here, but I'm seeing the most beautiful landscapes. What's going on? And then all of a sudden, 2 spacecraft to the left and to the right came with swastikas on them. And he said I couldn't control my plane anymore, that they were taking me somewhere. And that's around the time where his radio breaks out. But then he like talks about what he saw and where he went.
Right. Those gates only open during the summer. Wow. When the ice melts, there's certain passageways. You know, there was aside from Admiral Byrd, there was another expedition that was talked about with a few sailors that were at war. And then after the war, they bought their boat, you know, and one of the guys that came up with the idea, they killed him first and they tried to discourage the rest from going. Just to kind of briefly speak on it. Once they did make it to the ice wall, then they claimed that they felt a current, you know, pushing them or pulling them towards the wall till eventually they came to an opening and the current became faster, and now they're going through that opening. But I don't know what happened after.
See, it's those kind of stories I love. I didn't hear the rest. They hide those things from the public. They don't want us.
But they show you a map where our continents, and then the wall, and then the outer continents.
You seen that map?
And then there's 30.
So
I
think
they said it's like 33 continents.
That makes sense,
outside,
dude.
Like, yeah, they even had the old map in the Air Force One with JFK picture with him in the background, right?
Dude, yeah, go look at encyclopedias, older ones.
When you look
and
at
you'll
those
see
old
the
stuff,
flat
they
Earth
show
stuff.
you the sun, the moon, and this round flat land
with the
you know what I
continents.
mean? With the continents. And
there are people who went to school in the 40s who say they were taught that, and they're like, I don't know why they took it out of school.
right.
They taught it was flat.
Seeing after each generation, the memory is lost.
And people will immediately shut it out because they are flat and they're thinking a piece of tortilla with an edge, then nothing's there.
Right.
And it's like, we're not talking about the edge right now. Right. We're just talking about how there's a lot that they're keeping us from knowing about for really good reasons. They made us feel like God was nothing. God was small. They want to win. They don't believe in God. They hate God. So they're making us believe that we're alone on a little rock in the universe with nothing and nobody ever. When we're on a planet where there's all these amazing animals in the ocean that look like aliens. I mean, mammals in the ocean look like aliens.
Life forms that live at how many Fahrenheit degrees, you know, burning waters, lava waters, you know what I'm saying? Like, so wherever these islands are being born, that water around them is like, you know, boiling hot, and there's life in there.
Yeah.
How?
Right?
You know,
we're like all aliens. We're on an alien planet here.
We're being harvested for their well-being, right?
Or we're being harvested to feed so that some type of civilization or entity can survive.
Even let's take it a step even farther right now, because we all know we basically like thrive and strive on energy. You know that Microsoft took out a patent for cryptocurrency to monitor body data activity, to where basically it's going to exchange currency for actions.
Oh,
and you know it's even more crazy,
right?
The patent is 060606 with like some other letters and stuff in between, but that's sequential, right? And just to go as far as they started to fact check it. Like Snopes says, oh, it's not 666, you know, it's 060606.
You're starting to see the 666
everywhere,
more and more.
But also, like, we can't forget that episode.
All right, I want to ask you about this then. Are you aware there's a 666 in your logo?
In my logo?
Yes.
In Hush Supply?
Yes.
What? I guess the H's, let's see what A, B,
the 6 and the 6 and the 6 upside down right there. PP and the Y.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Is that?
And that's exactly how those companies market that.
Yeah, I know, right? But what you're talking about, this patent.
What's going on here, Bishop?
Dude, that's in a Black Mirror episode, bro.
I know. You know, Bishop.
But that's the problem.
Is a good guy.
People will take it and go
fighting the good fight.
Yeah.
But sometimes the beast is trying to infiltrate.
Right. And
you don't even know.
Man, I know it's like,
or people just read into it too much.
Like I'm reading into it too much.
I hope so.
Some people think I'm a woman. Yeah. No. People get trained to do what we do, is question everything, but sometimes it works against them, and they'll like think just because I have an eye tattoo that I am Cabal.
Yeah. When I first saw you looked very familiar to me, and now I know why, because there's a guy that was promoting himself as the Weed Jesus at one point, and now doesn't call himself the Weed Jesus, but he was trying to do helpful
remember that
things.
guy.
He
With
spread the
weed.
good word.
Oh,
And just
cool.
got involved with the weed, and then he went up to other things and just dropped the whole weed thing.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that guy.
You know,
Weed Jesus.
but you look familiar, like similar,
Yeah.
maybe the hair.
I got Jesus thing going.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Well,
But everybody here,
Kinda love
as far
JC.
as like just talking to you guys, I know that your intentions are good.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
And stuff that you've been doing on the streets with with people that are out of misplaced.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good wording. I like that.
Yeah. So, and definitely there needs to be someone there to offer some type of light in this world, right?
Yo, and
And
that's what's so dope. Not to interrupt, but yeah, when I go down there, man, like they we have live music. They're offering prayer, and like they have the Bible. Like, we bring food, of course, and then we also clean up the neighborhood. Like, and man, they do, like, they say thank you, God bless you. You guys are a gift to be here. Like, and that alone, because what a lot of people do, what I've seen from being down there, they have good intentions too, like you say. They'll bring all this food but not think of like all the trash and stuff, and either like bounce beforehand or whatnot, but all that trash just gets thrown on the ground, and they're even telling me, they're like, man, we would clean this up ourselves, but there's nowhere to put it. And they're not lying. There's nowhere to put it. It's like almost they're like they're not even given the simplest tools to be able to make it look like they're even trying. So
right.
so that's why when we ride on the road, we're just like, damn, look at these bums, look at them, they're all trashy, none of them are,
Right. If the city wanted
Yeah.
those streets to be
they
clean, they would be.
exactly.
That's all
Facts.
is being let happen for a reason.
By design.
And there's money behind it.
Exactly.
Wow.
You know what I mean? This
You
is
know
how
what's
you
up?
get people to leave the area. Leave the bums right. Sorry, I'm not gonna use that word.
placed
Yeah,
them.
sorry, I said it because
Sorry
of
about
the
that.
analogy, but
All right?
otherwise I don't use it like
Leave
that
the
way either.
misplaced people
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
That everybody, it's gonna scare people off. It's gonna get some people just tired of it. Some businesses that are just gonna leave, because all it is now is all like swap me stuff or whatever there in that area, like bootleg stuff is just you know what I mean. Which is all good because it lets people, they can't afford stuff, look good and get their shit and whatever and rock fake shit if that's what they choose to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whatever.
Yeah.
But all that is there because there's a 40, 50-year plan. These years ain't even counting for some people. These are throwaway years for some of those people. Just to get people to fucking leave the area. This is going to be tourists later for us when we're going to buy up all this property. We're going to buy up all the land that most of the Californians that left behind that already have left because they've been scared off by the politics,
Yep, they've been leaving in
and they're
droves.
charging you to leave. You can't just get up and leave California. You got to pay to leave. I don't know if you were aware of that, where they passed that law where you got to pay. Obviously, if you're under the radar, you don't got to pay shit.
Right,
You get up and
I was
leave.
like, watch.
If you own a business, property, and you file taxes with this state and you leave, you got to pay.
That's whack, man.
Yeah, well, up until they quit all these restrictions, I'm what do you call it? I'm on strike with paying anything for them. So
yeah,
I declare a tax protest right now.
Right.
That's all.
And so I've been living my life under the radar.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, what do you
out of the radar?
And that's the thing too. They that's with all the tracking. Everybody's like, oh, if they're willing to track you, you got your phone, man. I'm like, well, not once you wake up and realize what's up. It's like, because I know you're not doing nothing wrong and you don't care who sees or what you're doing really. But when you really think about it and you really, really think about it, yeah, you're going to start to care. And that's why they're definitely going to come with the chip at some point if they didn't already.
They know I'm hanging out with you right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Because they asked the people to make these phones
in
an open conference. So if I go sit over there next to you with my phone, is someone keeping track of this data that I'm actually knows that I'm hanging out with you? And do you guys know they didn't want to answer these questions as far as letting people know that yes, we are tracking you. Yes, when you're talking about eating apple pie with your friend, your phone's gonna next time you scroll, you're gonna see the apple pie restaurant and these deals on apple pies and everything. That's not a coincidence.
And it's not fun because at the end of the day, they're actually using it. Like, how they do the 6 feet distancing.
I still can't go live right now from the last time I left Bishop's house.
Wow. Yeah,
Wow.
here's where it goes into a rabbit hole, is that they say all this information that they're collecting, yeah, they use it to make money, but they're also creating a sentient world simulation, which means they have a copy of us inside of a simulation that they're running on a quantum computer.
To our data.
Yeah, and everything we do is developing that personality in that virtual us.
The real Sims.
And they can tell what we're going to do based on what we do here. In there, it can guide them to us towards some shit. So, and also at some point, they think there could be a bridge to where they can do something to that version and it would have an effect on us in this real world, which is where it gets weirder. Because how much further is going to go? Is Neuralink from Elon, is that really going to start blending our person here with that virtual self?
Okay. So I'm watching an interview. I don't know who was doing an interview, but people are giving their opinion or their story, but they still have to read off of a paper. So I'm watching TV and it looked so unprofessional. It's a huge show, but these people are still sitting on the couch with a piece of paper on them and reading from there, right? So, and it seemed so foreign to me. I'm not foreign. It seems so old, just in this day and age, to have to be holding a piece of paper to read your information. Why not have it already here, right? Is what they're trying to tell us.
Exactly.
You won't have to read off the prompter. You won't have to read off all the information. Any question you ask yourself,
wow,
or you ask me that, and I think about it, it's if I were researching it on my phone or Googling it.
It's modified telepathy is what they're trying to induce.
And not only that, they showed us this was going to happen. Even the early Marvel cartoons where these waves would just come out of his head and you'd know what the fuck he's talking about.
Exactly.
Right?
With that said, let's go to break real quick. Message from our sponsors.
Let's go.
All right, go ahead.
That telepathy?
Yeah, go back into it. I just need to look at it.
We'll do this. We'll do this. All right. Thanks for sticking through the ads, folks. All right. We're just going to jump right back in. We're on that topic of modified telepathy. All right. Where were we?
Telepathy. I don't know much about it, but it's a real thing as far as where our future is heading through that Neuralink and anything that they're going to start attaching to our brain. It sounds amazing, but guess what? Exactly what they're doing with the electric vehicles, those gas-powered vehicles that are about to become illegal in 30 years. Yeah. Not even 30 years. Now, it's about 28 years
yeah,
now.
They said 2050, I think, or less. Yeah, 2050.
So now because they're thinking, and the way I think that they're thinking about it is like, the high-speed chases and just people having so much power to be able to get away and run when the shit goes down. Your car will be able to be stopped, locked. Your seatbelt won't come off.
Yeah.
You farted in public, you're getting a warrant now.
Yeah, it's gonna bust a U-turn and drive you straight to the camp.
Elon exhibited this kind of power when Russia and Ukraine started their beef, and they were telling all companies to shut off their services to Russia. And a lot of them did. And that's where you realize, so
snap. Now you think you have a Neuralink thing, and now you're just the smartest person.
And here's the thing,
guess what? You think about committing a crime, they're going to come for you.
Yeah.
They can probably shut down your whole body, just disabling your spinal cord through how they attach that to your brain. Oh, you're going to be like this, standing still, stuck.
Waiting for them.
They want us to depend on them to the point of universal income, to where we're like, government, save the day, give us $2,000 a day, we'll be good, blah, blah, blah. And then they'll give you this chip you're talking about that monitors how much energy output you put. And then they reward you with the allowance that then you can go buy food with. It's a Black Mirror episode.
About,
the mark of the beast.
About monitoring.
This is an episode of Black Mirror to the T.
Get rid of the dollar. What's going on now?
That cryptocurrency,
the blockchain where
you got to trade your
now your wallet is public records. Yeah, you can't make a transaction without everybody being able to see how much money you got on you and how many transactions you made throughout the day, what you own, and what all that is going to be public record.
You're going to have to ride a bike for an apple, just like in the
ride a bike for an apple. Exactly. Like, and then what happens when they, they get you on that system and then you're dependent upon it no matter what.
Because they want that energy. Back to what I was trying to say earlier, that we all vibe on energy and wavelengths. That's why, they're harvesting our energy. And that's why with that cryptocurrency patent, man, like one form or another, like whatever we put our energy to, if it's positive or not, like that is being consumed by a higher power, you know,
Big
like the
time.
energy is being directed, you know, and whichever way you direct it is which way we're going. And that's why, you know, we have to just
Right.
continue to spread the
And
word.
so I think that's what's being manipulated right now on this earth is the energy. It's being trying to get everybody on a negative energy.
Exactly.
100%.
And us few now, that's why we're, you know, creating podcasts here and there, and you start hearing people that bringing up the, you know, because like in a way we've pivoted that energy now in a direction where people are kind of slowly waking up, getting on board, whatever, you know, they're paying attention, they're actually listening, they're like, oh
Yeah.
you know, I would, you know, last month, but now I'm into it.
I was I don't know if this relates, but I saw some story. I don't know. Maybe you had posted something about how people were able to survive off of eating gold flakes.
I seen that too. I didn't post that.
Really?
But yeah, well, they did.
And it was called, supposedly it was the manna that God had sent down on the travelers from
I had seen that. I can't remember who had
Egypt
put that
or
up.
something like that. Anyway, but so when they have gold in a particle form or in a dust form, and you try to put some, I might be messing up the story, but when you try to any type of other metal or material that you try to approach this gold powder with, it wouldn't react. But if the human flesh or just the human approach that gold dust, it would deflect. So that would tell you that this gold is reacted to human.
Wow.
And supposedly people would eat gold in a flake form and be able to sustain themselves.
Well, it makes sense because people do that with silver, man. I know people now that are messing with micronic silver, which can clean. His example was this. He's told me he had his own little kind of lake, tiny lake that was just disgusting with the green algae and all this. You can't really see through the water. He put a gallon of his micronic silver in it, and it cleared up the whole thing. So when you take a teaspoon of micronic silver a day, and your blood is the majority is water, think about what you're doing to it. Yeah, and it healed so many people. In the beginning, it was just a spray, and if someone had an allergic reaction, the inflammation would go down instantly. So the power of silver, and I could imagine gold.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy, and it kind of probably back then it was probably a home remedy. You know, in those times, and all our home remedies now are we believe in them. Man-made. You know, we believe in them. And at first, when I started seeing people in the cannabis industry promoting their product as being good for the people, and you try, you know, you believe most of the people, and then just like anything else in history, it gets infiltrated.
Exactly.
And now you got people
turn something good into something bad.
They're there for the people, and providing you with medication. And at the end of the day, everybody's just out here to survive, right?
They're out there. They're taking.
And some people don't care if they're manipulating you or bamboozling you.
Bamboozle.
They don't. They're just trying to survive. Yeah.
Right?
People will do anything. So
we've been bamboozled, and we're being bamboozled.
Yeah.
On now.
On that note,
on all levels.
I say you pull something out of the bamboozle pill box.
All right, let's go.
Yeah. So there's different topics in there. Pretty much we covered quite a few of them already. You're on game, bro. That's what's up. You know?
Yeah.
I've been inviting all my friends and people I know from, you know.
I had to educate myself on it.
That's right. That's good. I'm proud of you. I give you that A+.
Videos,
yeah, that's right.
You know,
good
it's
job.
good. Yeah.
Because I don't know everything. I just know this much of what's really going on.
I'm going to send you a VIP login to goodlion.tv, and then you're going to get like 500 plus red pill documentaries from all over the internet in one place. And then
this
my
the
own.
One that stood in my hand. So let's see.
Well, you can pick 3 if you don't like what that one is. Okay. You can pick 1 out of 3. So
some of this says border crossing.
Yeah,
I don't mind speaking on that.
Well, okay, then that's a good one because
I see this going on TV, and I see the perspectives from 2 different sides.
Right. So you know, let's say let's start with then what side do you like? I guess not necessarily favor, or what do you see happening? I guess
I see how a lot of people say it's an invasion going on.
That's what I hear.
And then, and maybe a small portion of the people are coming with bad intentions. Who knows? And they're using those people escaping danger or
as
escaping
the whole crowd.
As okay, we're moving in with these guys, and then everybody takes the bad rap. I don't believe drugs are gonna been coming across that border
nothing
regardless.
Stops that didn't.
And
right.
some of these, not every single person that's coming over here is a rapist, murder, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, and at the same time, there is a bunch of people that are just don't have good intentions and probably shouldn't be here at all, right? But that's not my call, because this is not my world or land or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But this is not the only place that's going on. There's other country. Okay, Afghanistan got all fucked up, and everybody was in Afghanistan had to go to their surrounding countries or areas, and they're being murdered. They're being treated like shit. You know,
they had nowhere to go. It's like when the lights come on and the roaches scatter, they were running into the boot every which way, huh?
Yeah, and those people could have been cool with their neighbors, but now that they're in their land, now it's a problem, and now they hate them. You know what I
mean? That's one way to see it. The other way to see it is that it's manufactured. Like George Soros has been, it's proven that he funded once. I think it was when Guatemalans came on this bus and they're walking for miles and miles, but they look so fresh and so clean.
Those are crisis actors, right?
Crisis actors, yeah. And they come, and then what happens is there's so many can come, and then they vote Democrat. It's like a real strategic thing. And then like now, what was it? They're sending a bunch to New York. It's like, why are you guys doing that? You're sending them where you want them.
Domesticating them, huh?
My brother had gotten sick when I was maybe like 12 years old, and we were visiting in Mexico. My mom was born out here. My grandma was born in Mexico, in Juarez. But my mom and my grandma had taken us out to go visit some of their family out there. And then we went to this other place in Mexico. I went to beautiful places with waterfalls, and the people's homes were great. You know what I mean? And they had a awesome community going. And if I walked down the street, any stranger would say good morning to me, or I fell off of a truck from holding on to a truck, busting my head open. And just people that came out, they already knew who my family was, just because of how tight knit and how everybody was there to help each other. The community was good. Not all areas may be like that, but where I visited, everything was beautiful like that. So it makes me think, you know, some of those, a lot of people do come over here because they need to make money, and then they're sending the money back, you know, to sustain their families over there, which is a one thing that maybe, okay, people don't like that shit going on because you want to keep the money here, right? But what I'm saying is, I just can't believe that whole train of people is trying to leave to come here and be in LA, be in a worse situation where people really don't fucking like you or don't fuck with you, and you can make a better life for you there. I believe. But so some of the stuff that I do see on TV, especially when you watch a TV channel looping the same image over and over, just that one little piece, you know, of these crisis actors. They cover their faces, you know, you can't tell what skin color most of them are. Facts. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. They're manipulating people's opinion and manipulating through those images and stories on how the election's gonna go. And even then, not even how the election's gonna go. The election already been decided. Exactly. They already know who's gonna be next and who's gonna win and who's not gonna. They already know this. They just give you that little
bit of hope,
bit of hope that you're voting for something and making a change when you're not.
You're getting entered into a database that, you know, to be known as the ops.
So
now.
Those images, that's what those images are serving other purposes. That's not really what's going on. I don't believe. But the fact that there's people crossing that border just to come over here in search of maybe a better life or just to work a little bit. Yeah, that is going on. And that's been going on through history.
It's like, it's basically everybody right now, like Asians, there's all kinds of people coming right through there. Indians, they said it's like, it's Arabs, Indians.
And then that's another thing that I gotta also open my mind to, because I'm so close-minded when it comes to the border. Because I feel like it's just the southern border. It's not that.
No, they're letting them all.
It's the entry for the rest of the world.
The whole world's coming.
And child trafficking. That's the thing. Like,
and so with that said, then so very well could be, you know, like, I mean, it is open border for human trafficking for sure, because
this is what's gonna happen. This is what the wall is. The wall that everybody's applauding, and that we're thinking that wall is to keep people out. Eventually, that wall is going to keep us in.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
You know, eventually that wall is going to keep us in. Where are we going to go once we need to leave this place? You know,
they don't care about us.
I think that's what's really coming.
Yeah.
That's just a part of the plan of.
Well, yeah, but they stopped making that wall.
Keeping us in.
You'd think Biden would be down for that idea to keep us all in.
So when I say that wall is going to keep us in, that's just kind of like because anybody, you know, there's ways to get through and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But when you see those movies of people just really trying to, there's a major disaster or something happens and they got to quarantine us again, and now we can't leave.
Right.
You know,
climate control
lockdowns.
And they show
Shanghai,
all those people
man.
they showed a movie where they're checking people's, now they're checking our
there.
temperature, but then they were using that to check if you were infected, and then you can cross that gate.
Yeah.
That's really coming.
Well, yeah, that part's already been here, man.
Right. That was just a little taste of
the big. And I think this
Yeah.
is that decade where they're going to keep flexing every
Yeah,
year,
they're flexing,
and they'll see how
hard.
far they can push. But I don't think they can push far with us. Look at Shanghai, man. They've been locked up still, and people are screaming and panicking, yelling out their windows because they can't even go outside. And we're here enjoying our time and thinking, wait, how is this still happening somewhere on the planet where people are still stuck like this? People are getting duct taped, thrown into a van. That. Like, how is that happening right now? And if that's still happening, then that means it can happen here anytime again. All they have to do is release anything, and then all the symptoms of the vaccine, they can blame that. They can say that is the cause of this new virus, or that is the symptom of this new virus, like monkeypox. I think there's a symptom of it that is shingles. But if you get the vaccine, some people are weakened in that area and they'll manifest shingles. So we're entering into a decade of chaos, I think, and I don't know how it's going to get resolved.
Yeah, no, that vaccine is some type of form.
Let's not use that word though.
Forced evolution. You know, they're putting something into your DNA
at the end. Yeah, they're really trying to erase God out there.
On that note, I guess we'll exit with have you personally, I mean, I guess I'm sure, but have you had some personal experiences that the jab has affected somebody you known?
The jab, I do know a couple of people that have taken the jab and have been experiencing just getting sick more often. If I get sick, it'll be like once a year, and it's horrible, right? You get the flu and you're out for a week,
Exactly.
That should happen once a year, maybe twice. So not 3, 4 times, 5 times within the 6-month period after you got the vaccine.
Exactly. So what obviously is happening is that it's attacking their white blood cells and it's killing their immune. So they're good on the COVID, thankfully. But yeah, any other symptom, they touch a gas pump, man, they're getting the common cold every time. And yeah, it's hitting them like a bag of bricks.
Right.
So basically, they jack their immunity and now selling it back to them.
Right.
And
that's terrible. I'm glad I didn't take that.
Yeah, and
I'm so glad.
I'm glad too.
And there was people in my house.
I'm so glad you didn't as well. Yeah, and people in your house, what?
No, I'm just saying, like, not everybody's gonna always be on the same page, and we're all trying to keep our family safe and alive and everything. So
that's it.
We're gonna do what we have to do for them.
Yeah,
obviously, but sometimes we got to think, like, is this the best thing for us? Is maybe do a little research on what's going on, and even then that information is being blocked, and you're basically against America if you don't take the vaccine.
It's
or you're
crazy how
against,
they've made it that way.
Against people's safety and keeping people alive.
You're all of a sudden a negative murderer.
Yeah.
Like, you want to hurt innocent people if you don't get a vaccine.
And heaven forbid it gets there, but yeah, they're going to start calling those the enemy of the state, and yeah, you'll be forbidden to go commerce. They're
right. Even taking the COVID test.
It's
something I'd rather not do.
It's a gateway to the sickness.
And the times I've done it, it was so scary.
Yeah.
To where when they let you do it, I needed to do it because I was going to undergo a knee surgery, and they want to make sure you don't have COVID, and I needed that surgery, and I think even to get into Universal Studios not too long ago, though, there was like you had to wait in an hour-long line just to get into Universal Studios after they did the test.
Right. Wow.
And everybody, it seemed like everybody, maybe one person out of hundreds, they'll move them out of line to make it look real, maybe.
Right. Yeah.
But how is it this entire line was able to get into Universal?
Right. But when it comes to,
but if you were in the health department line, everybody would have had COVID.
Right. They sent the green ones to this one and the red ones to that one.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, but another thing about, so I would like barely put it in there and, or okay.
Spit in a cup. Don't let them touch you with that.
The nurse that gave me that Q-tip to put up my nostril, and I told her, how do I know you guys are not giving me COVID?
Right.
Yeah. She said, well, what did she say? I forget her exact words, so I'm not gonna lie to you, but whatever she said, she just handed me the Q-tip and walked out the room. And she said, before she walked out, she just said, do it if you want. We're just gonna say you did it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh, so that means cool. Like, yeah, I would have just put it right down and been like, yeah,
I just said I did it, bro.
Yeah. And that's what the homie would do, because they would give him the in-house test. So he would like take it out of the package.
Yeah.
Pick it up like magically, like put it right back down in there.
Now, my daughter, my newborn Everly, she had a high fever and we panicked a little and we took her to the ER because they tell you once the baby has a fever, that's what you got to do, right?
See, I know, and that's what we're so programmed to, like whatever the doctor says we need to do. And,
and I want to give her the best chance, so that's what I did. And so now immediately they're talking about COVID.
Yeah,
right off the bat, man.
And I'm like, so that was horrible.
Well, look at
she didn't have COVID.
Of course not.
She took but the thing is that they had her take a test. So the same Q-tip that they're putting into an adult, they're gonna shove that into a baby's nostril.
Yeah,
it's Egyptian torture, man. When you penetrate the barrier between the nose and the brain.
Yeah, once he did something crazy, I feel she yelled and she's crying.
Fuck,
and
dude,
I wanted to take flight on that guy.
Right. Yeah.
I wanted to take flight on him, and I was so mad.
Yeah, I would have.
I shouldn't have let that happen.
Yeah,
I know,
mean,
bro.
But that's the thing, is we're so scared to think that, oh, well, they know what they're doing, and even though it hurt and all that. Like,
dude, if people did some research, they'd find out the inventor of the PCR test talked so much smack about Fauci, talking gibberish, and then he was all of a sudden
just gone.
Dead. That machine can manipulate this small of a virus and make it seem like it just took over your whole body by the many times that they amplify it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude.
So you're gonna get the result you want.
This is great. We're having this convo that we're this awake. That means there's way more people out there.
You're gonna get the result you want, and making the patient believe that they have something that they don't have. Absolutely. It's just they may have a speck of it in their body, and they amplified it so many times. And even the creator of that machine said, "Yeah, we can just say." This machine will say that you are positive for something if we make it do that,
Absolutely.
Can you believe it? Crazy worlds we live in, man. But thanks for being here.
Hopefully I'm wrong, y'all. Hopefully
I'm right, Sam. That's what I've been saying. Like, let us be wrong, man.
Hopefully we're all wrong, man. But I doubt that.
But yeah, let's end this with good graces and just give all praise to the Most High, and thank you for having us. Is there anybody you want to shout out?
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, bro.
Thank you for inviting me.
Like I said, I'm just inviting everybody I know from my sector that like especially that I know that are somewhat woke. But you, like I said, you got A+, bro. So. Yeah. Absolutely.
Thank you,
we'll have you back.
Absolutely. I want to give a shout out to Hush.
We'll do you a live DJ set on one of our next segments. So.
That would be awesome, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
awesome.
Seriously.
And real quick, I do want to give a shout out to the people that have been fucking with me and the cannabis community.
That's right.
And Sesh Up and Valley Sesh, and everybody's been fucking with me.
Sesh Up, I told you I was gonna come through. I'll be there one day, I promise.
Yeah, man, they fuck with you.
Yeah.
They fuck with you. And my boy Trip Log that I do the West Cap radio thing with on Fridays, Radio Super, every Friday, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Cool.
And all the artists I'm fucking with, and we'll see y'all at the Grammys.
That's right.
Hey, how do we find you on any social media like Instagram or something? What's you on there?
At DJ Havok LB.
Easy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Tight, man.
Thank you guys once again.
Thanks for coming on, brother.
Absolutely, brother.
Thanks for watching, everyone out there, and stay tuned. We got some more episodes for you coming up.
Yes, sir. I'm sweating like a motherfucker.
I know. Huh? All right, that was good. That was good.
Yeah, thank you guys, bro. Yeah. Hey, people are gonna trip out on this, not just on this, but on hearing you speak about all this stuff, bro, is so many
Well,
people
because
that
I
don't
only put up
accept it.
videos, you know what I mean? Like I
Hey,
only
bro,
put up videos. Too,
you're an
usually.
outsider. You know what I mean? As far as like all this stuff goes. Even your own family look like you're crazy. You know?
Can you crop this later, or are we stuck with this view this time?
We can crop it, yeah.
Yeah, because this had all the equipment. With all the equipment.